Okay, so we all screw up. I'm not the only one.
But you are this time.
I am the one this time. So last night I was heading into Shreveport. It's gonna be 80% story time, y'all. And it's the knife in review today is called the Great State of Oklahoma Seal 1907 knife. Okay. I know that sounds like a weird name for a knife, but the knife really doesn't have a name because it's just a Pakistani knife.
And it doesn't really have a maker either.
Doesn't really have a maker, doesn't really have a maker mark, doesn't really have a lot of anything going on with it. But what happened was I got on Craigslist on my way down to Shreveport just to see if there was any knives in the area, and I got in that conversation with a very polite gentleman, and he he had this knife with this sheath, and you see how this sheath like comes apart, like you can just unbutton it. The reason why they call it the Great State of Oklahoma Seal 1907 knife is because that's what the buttons say. If you zoom in, if you zoom in really good on the camera.
And it's not just this knife.
There's other ones, yeah. There's other ones, yeah.
That have no name, but have this button.
I didn't have this information when I had the conversation with the fella. I just thought the sheath looked like it was pretty high quality, and I thought the handle looked pretty high quality as well. Admittedly, I didn't do any homework because that's the kind of guy I am. But the conversation that I had with him, it started off because the description said, bought from a Mississippi knife maker. It's a custom knife. Damascus steel, Coca-Cola handle. He said I paid $250 for it, want $125. I said, man, I'll take a look at that when I get into town if you want to meet me somewhere. And so he did. And there's no markings on the knife at all. And I stayed to my word. I bought it. And I couldn't find a maker's mark on it at all. We did find, the reason why I bought it is because of this mosaic pen that they use. And I found some guys in Mississippi that use this.
Charles May.
Actually, Courtney found them. Yeah. And so we were like, well,
it's possible. And he was pretty close to the
area. That's right. Yeah, he said we picked it up in Tupelo. And I'm sure he's telling the truth, man. He probably got it at a gun show or a knife show or something like that in the Tupelo, Mississippi area. And there's a few good knife makers in that area, Les George being one of them. So when I looked at it, I didn't think it was Les George.
Right.
Because it doesn't look like a Les George design at all. Like, not in the least bit. But there's a few old school fixed blade makers down in the area. And I was like,
said he got it about a decade ago.
It's $125, man. $125 that ain't nothing. Like not for a custom knife, right?
Oh, but wait.
But when we zoomed in on these pictures here, or these buttons, and we saw the Great State of Oklahoma Seal 1907, we Googled that, with the word knife behind it, and quickly found that these things are available everywhere
for $20-$30.
$20-$30. Now I will say this: I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody know that White Hills,
White Hills,
or is it White Mountain?
White Hills, I think. I will go pull it back up just to
make sure. We need to do that because one of them's legit, one of them's BS. But there is a site that sells these knives for like $107 or $109 or something like that, and man, they're just cheap. That's all it is to it. And the guy brought along a couple other knives that I like this one. White Hills knives. Stay away from that site because it's you can get these on Amazon for like
literally if you buy 3, you get them for $19 a piece.
Yeah. And so he brought this one, which is a Smith & Wesson, which we all know that Smith & Wesson knives are usually junk, and he brought this one along with him. And Lord have mercy. Let me get this off. There we go. But this is a made in the USA. Sorry, I didn't clean it up. It's a Skinner. It's a Model 610, which that sucks because they have a revolver that's a Model 610 as well. So like it's kind of hard to find anything out about the knife. But he essentially he accepted 140 for that knife, this knife, and another Smith & Wesson knife that I got over here. And I knew the other one was a junker. But
y'all don't know how much I laughed at him when I found they were $30 a piece.
Yeah, I mean, I just wasted money, man.
$19 if you really want to get a few of them.
And this one right here, he pretty much just kind of threw in. You know, like he didn't want much for these. Like so, like no harm, no foul. Not really, anyway. You know, it's junk. It says special ops on it. That's not a knock against the military. It's just that special operations is not using these knives. I guarantee it. But regardless, man, it was
using this one right here.
Yeah, that's what they're using. My so-called knife, my so-called custom knife. That's gonna be the title of this video. My so-called knife, like my so-called life. Yeah. Well, we should reshoot this video with some emo music.
Yeah, he had to go like eat his
crow,
sorrow
man.
Away.
Yeah, I had to get some brisket when I was down in Louisiana, real close to the Texas border. Luckily, they had brisket.
So, word of advice.
No mark, no buy.
And even at that, once you've got it in your hand so you can check it out, does not mean you have to buy it.
It doesn't mean
do
you
your
have
homework
to buy it.
with that phone that is right there with you, and Google that shit.
I was in the midst of a conversation with Saito Dave, like kind of while this was going on, and I sent him a message. I said, dude, my dumbass just bought a knife out of a gas station parking lot. And he was like, you're going to have to tell me that story later. I ain't got time for your story time right now. I've seen your story time videos. They're long. And I just had to laugh and be like, yes, sir. But that, yeah, you talk about regret. I don't. You ever take a lady home from the bar? She don't look nowhere near as good as she did when you woke up the next day. And then you end up marrying her and having a couple kids. That's this knife. That's this. Oh, it's beautiful. And really,
full of regret.
What's this sheath say though? Like, I mean, this sheath does not scream epically cheap to me.
No,
I mean, like,
it's a nice looking sheath.
It's a nice looking sheath. I'm sure it's not a nice sheath. Like, before y'all start pounding me in the comments, but no, I mean, I didn't know about this knife's existence. I know now. You live and you learn. Some mistakes.
Stay away from the Oklahoma seal button
on a knife for shizzle. Anyway, the video doesn't have to be any longer than this. It didn't have to be a video. Courtney said, "Oh no, we're doing this video." Yeah, like
make you relive it just a little bit longer.
That's right.
Before
Now
you can hide it away in a drawer.
What we don't have on video yet is that we took our fixed blades out, our tops fixed blades. Mm-hmm. Or this top's,
that top.
We took the HKT out.
The BK.
The BK9, or I'm sorry, the BK18, and
the Odin-Wolf.
The Odin-Wolf out. And we beat the ever-loving shit out of them, and we're gonna have to piece that video together. It's not gonna be easy. Like we'll have to do an audio, like a voiceover. It'll be good practice for us, but that video will be coming, eventually.
Probably over the weekend.
Hopefully over the weekend. That'd be cool, but. Just want to get this story out of the way. Be careful. I say no mark, no buy, but we just did a video on the Civivi riffle.
At least it had a box.
Yeah,
that had the model
well,
and all.
and it's got the pivot, you know, it says C,
Yeah.
and if you know what a Civivi is, then you got that. But there's no markings on the blade whatsoever, no steel
I
types,
guess
no
they
nothing.
didn't know where to put it since they cut it out where they usually put stuff.
Right. You know, and that's not a mark against Civivi. I'm just saying, you know,
Right.
last night I was like, Nero,
No markings.
no marking, no buying. You know,
Which-
like probably not a horrible rule, but
Definitely not with $125.
yeah, man, that's $125 worth of Coca-Cola.
That is not Coca-Cola.
That is.
If that is Coca-Cola,
I could
I'll
do-
kiss your ass.
You kiss my ass anyway. Well, I could build a desk out of this big ass handle. All right, listen. That's all for me. You got anything else you want to
Just-
rub in my face?
Just laughter.
Just laughter. Well, we'll catch you on the flip side then.